3, 2, 1. First and foremost, I like to do a cheers. It's been a long time coming.
Trevor, you put me 3 shots? Oh my god.
That's what I was talking about right there.
Yeah, it's all right. All right. Whoa. So, this is our very first podcast that we're doing. Like I said, it's been something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit now. It's not something that I've always wanted to do, but getting our stories out on other platforms is always something interesting and cool. So, this podcast will pretty much just be an introduction to the crew, who we are, and we'll just dive on into how we got the name Drake. That's how it's pronounced. I promise you it's pronounced Drake, not Jrake or Drake like the rapper. You guys would be surprised on how many times we get Jrake.
90% of the time.
97.4% of the time it's Jrake. All right, so the first thing I want to cover is how Drake even got brought up. So when I got out of high school, I wanted to share all my stories because originally it was just Brandon and I for the longest time, a little bit of Parker, and at the time I didn't know. I don't know. At the time I knew Cole. I think senior year, yeah, I knew Cole.
Remember the first trip we took?
Yeah,
Cole CJ.
that's right.
Yeah.
Is that when he caught his fish?
Mhm.
Yeah. So the guy sitting to my left, Trevor, he wasn't even thought of at this point.
I was nobody.
Yeah, he was a nobody. We didn't know him yet.
He's still a nobody.
He's still a nobody.
Yeah, still nobody.
But anyways, I wanted to get my stories out and start documenting stuff. I've always had a thing for filming. Parker and I used to film anything between just making stupid videos and skateboarding and putting a box on a skateboard and jumping it on a BMX bike or BMX ramp and stuff like that. But I've always had a thing for cameras and loved filming all my stuff. I think the first person I contacted about Drake, I think, was Parker, and we had no logo, we had no name. So stupid as it sounds, it was around February, and we were going to the Sportsman Show. They do one in Portland every year, and every booth that had a cool name. Now I'm not going to start naming booths, but anything that sounded cool, Hawk, Terrain, Ridge, anything, I would just keep a mental note. And I got home and I grabbed a piece of paper. This is a true story. Grabbed a piece of paper and just started writing names down. Browns Creek Outdoors, Running Ridgeline Outdoors. I even think I pitched Parker a couple of outfitter names, and he's like, "Dude, we're not an outfitter." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know what outfitter meant." But anyways, I had this list of names, and towards the bottom, we settled on Browns Creek Outdoors. And the more and more that time went by, I was like, "This name sucks."
Somebody, I forgot who it was. Somebody pointed out that it sounded like diarrhea.
Yeah.
You brought that to me at the feed store.
That's right, yeah.
You brought that to me dude, I got this idea. You laid it out for me, and I was like, it sounds like a really good idea, but the name, I was like, where'd you even come up with this name?
Browns Creek
Came from Wickiup.
Yeah, there's a lake here in Oregon called Wickiup, and there's a river or creek that runs into to the mouth of the
Davis.
Is it Davis Arm?
Davis Arm, yeah.
Yeah, so the Davis Arm and Browns Creek meet at the lake, and my grandpa always used to take me up there, and he was like, "You can drink this water, how clear it is." So I used to take handfuls. Anyways,
You got the Brown Creek runs after that, didn't you?
I got the Browns Creek runs after that. So back to the name. So at the bottom of the list, I had Jake Outdoors. And if you're a turkey hunter out there, you guys know what a Jake is. And then before all this, so I'd find a name that sounded cool. Let's say Running Ridgelines Outdoors. I'd Google search it and it'd be taken. Or I'd Google search Hawk Ridge Outdoors and it'd be an apartment complex in Phoenix, Arizona. So I was like, all right, they're all taken. So anyways, I had Jake Outdoors, 2 crappy names. And then I had Drake Outdoors, a male duck. And I don't know what I was doing one night, but I just combined those 2 words and I wrote it out. Jrake.
Jrake.
Yeah, Jrake.
Good old Jrake Outdoors.
Good old Jrake Outdoors. And I was like, man, it was catchy. It was unique. Google searched it and wasn't even taken. It was like, do you mean Drake Outdoors? And I was like, no, that's not it. But the very first thing I put it on, my buddy CJ, it's on our YouTube channel. He caught this 32, 34.
It was
Oh.
32 by
16 pounds.
14.5
Something
with the
pounds.
tail and the head still hanging off the scale.
That's right. Before we dive any deeper, we have 5 boys in the crew, 4 mics. So
Yeah.
Mr. Cole Holman over there will have no mic or headset, but
Just sit
if
on
he,
my lap when he needs to.
yeah, he'll sit on Parker's lap
Might kill me.
if he needs to talk. But anyways,
Cole's not fat. Cole's just
hefty.
large.
Anyways, our buddy CJ caught this huge fish, and I took it home, threw it on this cheap editing software, and at the bottom I wrote Drake Outdoors. And I remember I finished it. I don't know who I sent it to. I think Parker. And Parker was like, "What is Drake?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm done. Like, I have 100 names. They're all taken. This one sounds cool. It's unique." So it stuck. And
Stuck. I was opposed.
Heck.
I was opposed forever, but it stuck. So there's nothing to do about it.
yeah, and
Got to a point. It was like, all
now
right,
we're at a
this is
point. Yeah,
It. This is it.
it will forever be Jrake to everyone.
It's gonna
People who,
Including us.
yeah, people at the Sportsman Show or, hey, Jrake Outdoors. Yeah,
Yep, that's
that's
us.
me. But yeah, that's how we got our name, and the logo. The logo was a different story. This isn't our logo. This is our podcast logo. Our original logo.
Cole's hat.
Cole's
You remember
hat.
the first time
Yeah.
you drew that logo up and sent it to me?
Yeah, you liked it, I think.
I liked it, but I was like, I like it, but it looks like a 2-year-old drew this.
Yes, that is true because
But it was a sweet idea.
I was up late at my kitchen counter and I just started drawing, and I wanted to obviously put fishing and hunting, something that says fishing and hunting. So I drew up a elk antler, and then I think the original logo, the antler. If you look at our logo now, it looks more like an elk antler than it does a hook. The one I very first drew up looked more like a hook than it did an antler. I even had an eyelet with some knots, and I think it came down with like a fly at the end. But I sent it into a dude who does like graphic designs and stuff, and he made it like a vector form, and that was it. And my dad made me, I think I was 17, 18 at the time. He was like, "You need to trademark this, or else someone's going to steal it." So we patented it. So don't steal it. We've already had a couple.
10 years.
We had,
Yeah.
we had a couple
That's good
times
stuff.
where we had
We've had a couple times.
trademark on some people.
Yeah.
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 I'm not going to say any names, but people I did reach out to were pretty cool about it, and they did end up changing it. But yeah, that's how we got our name, and that's how we got our logo. It was just pretty much just brainstorming, and everything else was taken. But I'll introduce myself. I'm Dakota Peterson. I'm the owner of the company. It was originally me and Parker. I got Brandon to join, and then Cole was. You and I weren't tight.
No.
We weren't tight when it started, so it was kind of just us three. And I think we started filming a little bit of turkey, and I did not know what I was doing. Like, I preach to these boys when they're filming me. It's all about the angles. Like, cinematography is its own art in itself, other than like taking pictures and stuff. But I knew nothing about cameras. Just was winging it. Brandon, what did you think when I sent you all that stuff? The logo and the name. Pretty much the same thought everyone else had.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool at first, and then I was just like, man, no one's gonna like us. You know, we're gonna be
Yeah.
the people that fall off the deep end, and I mean, we're going on 7, 8 years now.
No, bro. 4 years. Well, 2016. So like,
I was gonna say it hasn't been that long.
yeah, hadn't been that long. But no, Brandon's right. We didn't know what to expect, really. We didn't know where it was going to take us. I mean, many people that know me, I've always just wanted to be a cop, since I was in high school, so making this into a career really wasn't an option for me. It was just I did it because I grew up doing it, just like Cole grew up doing it, just like Brandon grew up doing it. I didn't think it was going to take me anywhere until Parker drew an archery tag. That's when I was like, all right.
I just bought it. I didn't try it.
That's right. It was over the counter.
No, I bought
was
bought an
general.
eBay bow because I saw some cool videos on YouTube, just like every other archery guy starting out. I was that guy for a while.
Parker was that guy. So,
He was a YouTube hunter.
yeah, Parker. Funny thing about
Guilty as
Parker
charged.
is I've been neighbors with Parker since I was like 5 years old, maybe.
I think I was like 2 or 3 when I
Yeah.
was with Melissa. Yeah.
And we've lived next to each other for years and years. And as we got closer, our parents got closer, and Parker, at least, he didn't grow up, and correct me if I'm wrong, going to deer camp like Brandon and I and Cole did every
No.
single year. It was way different. It was, I know your mom's side hunted,
Yeah.
but
it
you
was
never
like-
really saw that.
I didn't get to get out there enough when I was that young, with like, her younger brother, my uncle, Phil. It was a mixture between going out with him rarely and then going out with you guys all the time.
Yeah.
Kind of just like, oh, what is this? This is cool. Killing birds and squirrels.
Yeah, that's how it started, huh?
Dude,
It was- it was-
first telling like
Parker's
grade.
Parker's specialty is killing birds and
Dude,
squirrels.
he was dang good at it too.
Squaws.
Yeah, because Brandon and I, so like our families have always hunted together. Like our grandpas started it, had kids, then had us. So it's always me and Brandon's families have always been tight. And so every September, October would roll around, it'd be me and Brandon up at deer camp, and then Parker started coming up with his mom and dad. But if any of you guys know Parker's dad, he's definitely not the outdoorsman. But hey, he can chop wood like no other. He can chop wood like no other. But no, Parker's family just pretty much came up for the camping aspect.
Yeah.
The camping aspect, and Parker and I would run off. Me, Parker, and Brandon would run off with our BB guns and just shoot squirrels and birds and each other, and come home, and we'd come back to camp, and our dads would make us eat them, and we hated every bit of it. And so Parker started tagging along, and then before we knew it, he was old enough to start carrying a rifle. So I'd go my
Started
way.
off with turkey hunting with him.
No, that was before. You talking about the one with the bow?
Yeah, we took him out on a youth hunt with a bow.
Yeah, no, he was coming up.
That was when I got bow.
Yeah, that's when he got a bow. He would come
Oh.
up with a rifle.
Oh.
Yeah, funny story. I got to throw this on. It's one of my favorite memories. And I hope his dad's listening to this someday. So I'm out about age, I think 13 or 14. My dad finally let me just start going out by myself, which was, as a 14-year-old in the woods by myself, it was a new challenge. It was pretty scary. So I stayed close to the fence lines, and I see Parker's dad, and I'll never forget this, in his I see Parker's dad in his jean shorts, fanny pack, and I think like, if I can remember, like a blue Old Navy t-shirt and an orange hat. He's up against a tree sleeping. About 20 feet above him is Parker hanging on a limb with his 243 or whatever he was shooting. I remember just sitting there like, what am I looking at right now? But anyways, we'll fast forward a couple years, and Parker wanted to bow hunt. So growing up, bow hunting in my family was frowned upon.
It was very frowned upon.
Wasn't frowned upon, I shouldn't say. It was just we flicked it to all the bow hunters out there. I thought growing up I was never gonna let that rifle down. I was never gonna pick up a bow until 2016. Parker drew, or not drew. He just got an over the counter tag. I told him, get a tag. I'll take you to my honey hole. My honey hole. It's not really a honey hole.
Yeah, honey hole.
And I told him I'd get him on a deer. I remember I told you that. I would get you on a deer. And so we made like 3 trips up And the first 3 trips was completely backwards to me. As a rifle hunter, and some of you guys can attest to this, we don't care about the wind at all. We don't care really how far it is. So, man, archery hunting was a whole new ball game. Parker had this little fancy rangefinder. He had this little bottle of, it was wind checker, but smoking a bottle, and he was bugling at elk. And anyway, it was way different. But I think on our 3rd trip up, Parker, you can go ahead and tell the story. 3rd trip up.
Oh gosh.
Nope. And no deer. He's never killed a deer before this.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. I just bought a bow on eBay one day, and yeah, we went out to Dakota's family's usual spot they go to. Super secret.
Super secret.
Super secret.
Definitely.
Super secret.
Only
No one ever hunts there. I'm just kidding. Anyways, we go out, and we're working same shifts at Burns Feed Store, and we got 3
Shout
days
out.
off in a row. We get Thursday, Friday, Saturday off.
Yep.
So every Wednesday night after our shift, we would drive all night long. And we'd get up there. We'd sleep at a gas station about 3 hours out. Wake up.
Why did we have to sleep at a gas station?
Because his gas gauge on his truck is still broken to this day, I think.
Yeah.
So we never really know if we're on E or if we're not on E, because it always says it's on E. So we'd stop there, sleep uncomfortably. Somebody would sleep in the bed, somebody would sleep in the cab. Usually Coda in the bed, freezing his ass off.
Oh, freezing my ass off.
It was 3rd trip.
3rd trip, yeah.
We saw a couple bulls running around the road when we were driving in. We're like, okay, game's on.
I think it rained that night.
It did.
Or rained
Every
that
time
morning.
it rained that morning, we're like, whew, it's go time. But we walk half a mile out of camp, and there's 2 bucks, and they're bedded down. And how they were positioned, it was the weirdest, like, looking, because
Call
it's
it
like
the exorcist deer.
it's looking completely over its back, and its head's like upside down and cocked over to the side. I was like,
Something you see straight up.
what the hell is that? Is that
Yeah.
a deer? And then sure enough, he stands up, and it was weird. They didn't really care about our presence. Like, they saw us, and we have that on video. It's on our archery hunt.
Yeah.
You can see them, and we're just kind of walking through the trees really slowly, and they're just kind of walking along. They don't really care we're there. And I drew back twice, but I wasn't really comfortable with it because the closest we got was like 60, 70 yards.
You take that shot any day.
Oh, any day now.
And now
no,
that's easy.
no.
You
Just
took-
because I took
no.
one bad shot that was too far.
Yeah.
Okay, and I
okay,
paid
are
the
you
price.
kidding me?
I paid the price. Anyways, those deer got away, but before they got away, they ended up meeting up with some other ones, and that got us all stoked because we saw a bunch of deer that morning.
Those same deer met up with this bachelor group of bucks.
Yeah.
And the lead buck in that group was the buck Parker ended up killing. Anyways, finish your story.
They moved along, obviously. They didn't give a darn about us. And that evening, Dakota's like, hey, we're going to go to a new spot, secret spot.
Secret.
I was like, where are we? What do you mean?
It's the money
We've
spot.
been all over this hill. And
Not this spot.
yeah, no, we didn't go quite that far, but we go down this little draw. And for some reason, we thought there were elk down there. So we're sneaking along. We're just being totally silent. And I knock an arrow.
I told you to knock one.
I knock an arrow before we dropped in there, which I don't know what the hell. It's not really smart to walk around with a knocked arrow either.
Hey, and we were walking down this hillside, and down at the bottom there's a trail, and right at the bottom of that trail, it's where they cross from public to private, and at about 150 yards across private there's a pond, so they just run that trail. They run from private to public. When we were walking down there, I was like, Parker, knock an arrow. I have a good feeling. Continue.
Remember, yeah, we thought there's elk down there because we did hear something. We heard like a stick break. Okay.
It's probably me.
We're sneaking down there. And Dakota's in front of me with the camera, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to get in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in front of you really quick. So I step in front of him, and 30 yards later, this
Boom.
buck stands up out of his bed. And as soon as I saw antlers, I just drew back, and I got on him. I'm not even looking. I just saw antlers. I didn't see how big he was.
I think we were going home the next day.
Yeah. This was like our last day there. And I just thought it was like a fork or a 3-point. I didn't think it was, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was just adrenaline. And I draw back, I get my pin right on him, and then I whisper to Dakota, I was like,
I ranged it,
was
yeah.
Range him. And then he says 36, and I'm aiming right at
Infamous
him.
36.
Yeah. Aiming right at him, And right as I'm about to squeeze that trigger, I see this branch just going right in front of his vital, and I was like, oh, I might hit that branch. So that's why you see me drop down to a knee. I dropped, which was the riskiest but best thing I ever did. Drop down to the knee, and as soon as I dropped down to the knee, I saw him just lock eyes on me. He's like staring at me.
This buck had to have been just snoozing.
Yeah, no, he was still waking up.
He had no idea what was going on.
It was all luck. There was no skill in that at all.
The shot
No
was skill.
This shot was skill because I had been practicing a little bit.
Yeah, he made a phenomenal shot.
But yeah, no, there was no hunting skill really involved in that scenario. We just got lucky, and then it was like, oh my god, archery hunting's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. Moral of the story. This was Parker's first deer he's ever. I know you've been around him when we were like skinning them, but from shooting one to gutting, packing it out, it was Parker's first time doing it. But no, I remember first thing my dad said was, "You ruined that kid."
Yeah.
Because it's like, and Brandon can attest to this, and even Cole, maybe. You hunt all these years, right, to shoot a buck like that, and here comes this new kid off the block, goes in there and just whacks one like
Smacks a
that.
freaking trophy, man.
I was like, deep down, I was like, I hate Parker. But
I remember texting Coda right after he sent me that video.
Oh,
so
you thought it was fake.
Yeah, I thought it was so fake, and I was just so pissed. I was like, he's a YouTube hunter, man. How does he do that?
But no, we ended up getting that deer out at dark, and the next day we left. But after that, I was like, so after that, like 2 weeks later was rifle, which was my season. And it was the last time I killed a deer with a rifle, and the last deer I actually killed, because I've been bow hunting ever since. But I shot a deer 3.5 weeks probably after Parker killed that during rifle season, and the feeling you get, and anyone can back me up on this, the feeling you get when you shoot a deer or an animal, just in general, that adrenaline, that feeling, that fire, was not there anymore.
You're right, man. It's just like rifle hunting.
Yeah.
After Parker killed that buck, I mean, I got thinking. I mean, I had a deer 250 yards out. I mean, fork and horn easy.
No idea it was even there.
Well,
or he had no idea you were there.
Yeah, I mean, I just had all the time in the world to shoot. One shot, dropped him right then and there, and then I mean, it was just I wouldn't say easy. It's just like. Just lost that thrill for hunting there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I just wanted like a little more challenge, and then that's when I switched over to bow.
Something my grandpa always says. He says, the day I lose that flame, or the day that flame burns out, I'll call it a day. And I'm not going to say that flame burn out, but it just wasn't that hot.
I'm gonna rifle hunt still.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I would pick up. If there was a nice rifle tag I could get, I definitely would pick it up.
Shit, I picked up a rifle tag last year, deer and elk.
Well, that's just because you couldn't go archery, right?
No, I could have gone.
Oh, yeah, you
archery,
could have gone.
I drew my any bull tag.
That's right. All right, we gotta give Trevor some mic time. So Trevor, I know. So I met Trevor in about the end of 2015. We worked together at a feed store, and I hated him.
Oh,
Plain
yeah.
and simple. I hated him.
Everyone hates me.
I hated him.
At least at the beginning.
Yeah, just this. We had this cocky kid who just always wanted to one up me. I don't care.
Okay, so the story is Coda has a truck that was similar to my old truck.
Badass.
And I was trying to relate to him, saying, like, "Oh, dude, I got a truck that looks just like yours, except for it's lifted a lot more.
It's
bigger
better. It's
tires.
diesel.
It's a diesel with a 7.3 power stroke."
Oh, by the way, I'm better than you.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Whatever.
No, but I met Trevor, like I said, at the feed store, and we hit it off after I got done hating him.
We hit it off, but we like the same music.
We like the same music, and that's what really got it going.
That's it.
But as Drake continued through the years, Trevor started to tag along. I think the first trip you were on was our East Lake trip we took with me, you, and Parker.
I think that was the first
Yeah,
trip.
that one's on our YouTube. We took that back in like 2016 or something like that, and that was kind of like the introduction of Trevor. And then, ever since we've all become close, and I consider all these guys my brothers. And Trevor, growing up hunting, how was it? So when I think of, actually I should say this, the way me, Cole, and Brandon grew up hunting was a lot different than how you grew up hunting. Could I say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, that's just a fact. Hunting, growing up for me, hunting was jumping in the truck and driving down some back roads trying to find a deer out in an open field.
Road hunters.
Yeah.
That's literally, and,
Well,
literally
like-
and then it getting kicked out of the
Timber
truck and
cuts,
saying,
right?
Oh yeah, no, that's
Just
what it's
logging
clear. Just
roads?
clear cuts. Getting kicked out and saying, "Sit here until I come pick you up. Watch that ridge line. Hopefully, you
I could already see it. Trevor,
That
here's
was it.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I sleep. So, the year before I met you, before I met you at the feed store, that hunting season, I went up and I was watching clear cut. And I swear to God, I was just out. And I hear something tromping through that tree line, and I was like, I wake up, and this is how I grew up hunting, so this is all I know. I wake up and I'm just waiting. I'm like, I should go after that. I think, like, I can hear something fucking running through there. But just what I knew from knowledge, I was like, oh no, just sit here. It's gonna come out at some point.
Yeah,
It's clear
it's
cut.
gotta.
It's gotta come out. And that's just all I knew. So, yeah, no.
Trevor doesn't. I mean, I know a lot of people like that though, whose style of hunting was just blue jean. Ain't nothing against those blue jean hunters, but
Hey,
just
let's rocking
just
at least mossy oak.
blue jeans.
I skill a lot
Mossy
of deer in blue jeans.
I know. Blue jeans, camp chair, and they just look over a clear cut. Which I mean, hunting is hunting.
If
We're
that's your
out
style
there.
of hunting,
We're out there
then
for the
yeah.
If that's your style, completely different than how I grew up doing it. It was boots to the ground, huge, huge parties. We had parties of like 20 people, 3 canvas tents, wood stoves. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And I mean, Cole, anything like that when you were growing up, or was it
No, not really.
nothing? No, like big camps.
No, not huge camps.
Really?
No.
You seem like a big camp kind of guy.
No.
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 I know Nate, and that's
Yeah.
a tight group.
We
That's
used to
like
go.
Are
brand
you
new.
more of a hop in
No,
the plane? We'll go. in-
Yeah, dude. Okay.
Shoot them out of the
Let's just
helicopter.
say-
Brand new toy haulers everywhere.
Let's just say we
attacking
would go find mule deer in the sage country with our airplane, and then that's where we decided to start drawing tags.
Perfectly legal.
Yeah. No, we would or
Never
put
hunted
put
the
in
CIA.
put in for tags. We
Yeah.
just find my
Scout.
dad. Yeah,
Gosh.
but we would never have huge parties like that. It was more open country for deer, at least.
Kind of like the Owahis.
Yeah, it was just more southern Oregon. Yes, yeah.
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 I won't give out your secret spot.
No, yeah.
You already did.
Yeah.
Can you draw me that waypoint later?
Yeah.
Yeah, drop that pin.
Drop that pin.
Take me on an airplane ride?
No, I think the most people I ever had in a hunting party is about 5.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
We-
before you guys, the most I had in a hunting party was 3, and my dad, I wouldn't even say was hunting. I don't think he had a rifle. It was just me and my brother, and he'd drop us off at different clear cuts. So
So I'll pick you up later.
that was it.
He'd drop you, your brother, and he would drive. He would fall asleep in the truck for hours. Your brother would fall asleep.
No.
And you
So
would fall
here's the
asleep.
difference. He'd sit in the truck, smoke about half a pack of cigarettes, eat some Take 5 candy bars, drink a couple Mountain Dews, and then when the sun goes down, he'd come pick us up.
While Trevor's just shivering his balls
I was
off.
like 12. I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, no, that's like I said. I met Parker years ago. Always known Brandon. Brandon and I grew up. Brandon and I grew up as kids, and when I mean kids, I mean babies. And that just all goes back to our parents being best friends and our grandpas at the time best friends. Met Cole my senior year.
Yeah, I transferred. High
transferred schools.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna get in. I met
That's just
Cole my senior year. Walks in with flip flops and a shaggy hairdo. I was like, "Who is this guy?"
I hated Cole Apollo.
Yeah.
I saw this guy. I was like, this guy thinks he's so hot. Football, like, yo, I'm so cool. Like, what's up? But I knew Nate. I was really cool with his dad. And then
you were
dad's
going
the
to
best.
OSET, huh?
yeah, I was doing that horse stuff. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Trevor had the horses in the back a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So over the years we've all grown pretty dang close together, and we have a good relationship for the most part. Brandon and Trevor like to bicker back and forth, but that's just in their nature.
That's yeah.
That's just in their
That's
nature.
You're going to see a lot of fight matches this year, probably.
Yeah, there's One of
Going
these
down
days.
to the 18th green.
One
the
of these
golf
days they're gonna get
course.
released. I promise you right now, I could go and grab the boxing gloves out of that drawer. And you guys would throw down in the studio.
I'd love to.
Oh, yeah, oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to. Throw them on.
There is a lot we want to cover in this podcast. A lot of it being, the origin of Drake, and I did want to cover who we are and how we all met each other. It wasn't all by coincidence. How we got into the outdoors, I think we pretty much covered that. Our first memories in the woods. I gotta go back deep. I don't even think my first memories would be big game. It'd probably be turkey with my dad. You?
Okay. When you say
First-
in the woods,
okay, I'm talking about hunting.
in the
In
woods.
the clear cuts.
Yeah.
No, to do the most
Hunting.
like meaningful, like when you knew this is like you
Like,
love
I like
doing
this.
this. Like
Okay, when I loved doing this, was
Yeah.
with you guys.
That is true.
Before that,
You should
dude,
touch up more on that.
So okay, before that, my first experience in the woods when hunting was going on is before I could even technically rifle hunt. Oh, okay, thanks.
That
Brandon.
sounds better.
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds
that sounds a lot better. Yeah.
you're only talking like over here.
Okay, 'cause it's all the way back here. All right, whatever. It was my brother was hunting. My dad was kind of just walking with him, and I don't know what I was doing there. I was pretty much a pack mule, but I was like 10 years old. Like it was pointless of me being out there, and I literally just walked. That's it. But the point of where I knew like this is a passion, I love this shit, was with you guys, just going out East Lake, stuff like that,
Yeah.
doing. I mean, before I did the rifle hunt with you, just me and you, was going out with you guys, archery, like
Turkey.
It just kind of turned turkey
Yeah.
too. Turkey, just getting those turkeys close and hearing them gobble. Good lord.
And you make
man.
a good point because all what you're bringing up is you were with us and
No, that's
that's
exactly
what-
exactly
yeah.
it. Is being that road hunter that watches clear cuts sucked, and I mean it sucked. Putting boots on the ground and covering miles of actual backcountry terrain, and honestly, when we did my buck hunt, rifle hunt,
God.
that sunset and watching those elk come down from
Oh,
those
yeah.
canyons. I mean,
That's something-
there was almost like 5 different species of animals there.
Yeah, we had
we had
deer, elk, pronghorn,
cattle,
cattle.
coyotes.
Not bighorn. Did I say bighorn?
No.
Oh, I meant. Oh,
They're in that country though.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they are.
Brandon.
I don't know, man. I mean, I got so many great memories growing up. I mean, hunting with my dad, going up to deer and elk, or not elk camp, but going up to deer camp, making teepees
Making
with
teepees.
you. Man,
Dude, I was Brandon and I were young. Every time because he would always have to leave early.
yeah.
Never stayed the whole 10 days. He'd always leave early. Dude, I just cry and cry.
You
And then
always cried.
Dude, I always
No,
cry.
because you told me the story about Brandon and you playing football at the camp,
Oh,
and-
I threw a Hail Mary.
and Brandon ate crap.
We're like
dude.
6, 7
And
years
Brandon
old.
walked up and was like,
Yeah.
like
Brandon was a tough son of a gun back in the day.
Still am.
Still am. Sorry, not back in the day.
I'm a billy goat still.
Yeah. We call Brandon the Billy Goat. We have this so Brandon, hunting with Brandon, you love it, but you gotta
Dude, he
you
takes
hate
off.
it.
He takes
'Cause
off though up those
He
hills.
is just
I remember,
gone.
I remember last time we hunted together archery season.
I'm like, dude, slow
I
down.
was way out of shape, and going to like those weren't even huge draws. But
Still.
Brandon's standing at the top of that hill,
Waiting for you.
waiting. You were halfway, and I was at the bottom of that draw, and I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing? Like, he
Yeah.
practically sprinted up that hill.
Snorted a line of C4 and up he went.
Pre-workout, and he's just
That's
running,
like, hey,
dude.
if I got two dudes on speed dial to pack out my elk, bang, bang.
Oh, dude,
We
yeah,
got
no.
truck legs right there. We got
We literally
lungs.
talked about that during your elk hunt when we were by ourselves, me and you. You're like, I
Oh,
got
yeah.
Brandon on speed dial to come help us. Oh, there we
There's a
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference between actually, if I call you, you'll be there. Because I know Brandon's one guy. I know if I call him, it doesn't matter if he has to work the next day, he'll be there. But if I need like some muscles,
I'll be there.
Cole will be there.
That's Cole. That's Cole.
Cole will
Cole's
be
the
there.
muscles of the group for sure.
Cole will be there.
I got muscles.
Sorry, we took a quick break, but we ended that part off with asking Brandon when was like the first time that it really dawned on him that he loves the outdoors. He loves doing this.
Oh man, had to be springtime, turkey season.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Something about turkeys.
Dude, no,
No way, dude. Big game. Big game.
Cole, this year. These boys will take you out.
I'm gonna be working. I'll be out of state.
That's right.
We'll see.
I think I was like 7 or 8, right before I could start hunting. I went out with my dad, right out of where we normally go,
Oh, yeah.
down the skid road, and we set up in this little spot, and we had a Tom coming in, and pretty soon my dad was to my left, and I was to the right of my dad.
Was this when you had your Slim Shady hair?
I think so.
Yeah.
One at a time. But my dad was sitting there calling, and I caught something out of the corner of my eye, and my dad just kept telling me, sit still, you know, just a young kid moving around, so much energy, and caught
It's Trevor to this day.
Yeah, I mean,
Talking too loud.
Okay,
complaining.
Dude,
Trevor,
Do
another
we
story.
have to
That's
go
another
out there?
no, another story. Okay, so me and Brandon, we went out turkey hunting.
I'll get
we-
to that in a minute.
We had that turkey so close, and
We
so
did.
I'll agree with Brandon on this one. When someone tells you to sit still, it is impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It
Me
is.
and Brandon looks over, and I remember he's like, "Be still, they're coming in. They're gonna come closer." And Brandon looks over, and I swear to God, I had my shotgun on my knee, just quickly pop up, and I was just shaking like none other. And Brandon's like,
Been there.
"Stay still," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"I'm trying."
he had the
dude. Like,
shakes, man.
I
It was bad. Like
couldn't-
I was like, Trevor, you gotta sit still.
Dude,
man.
I've
They're
never
coming.
shaked that bad.
I
don't
mean,
know if it
you
was
been
the
there, Parker?
cold.
Oh,
Were you just
yeah.
shaking and that Tom's
Dude,
coming
yeah.
in?
It's-
Yeah, I don't know.
Last
We
summer
had.
was when- I'll save it.
Yeah.
Remember,
You guys
remember when
ate
you
shit.
and I had those birds out in that field? With same
yeah.
group of birds we had coming in the next week, dude, and those birds were 60 yards. I mean, we could have took the
should've
shot.
taken that
We
shot.
should have took the shot, but I thought they were just gonna sneak right around the tree line with us, and we're gonna double up right then and there. But they pulled out from us because Trevor was moving. But
Pull out as in they slowly walk away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they would have saw me. They would have been gone.
all right, no, I think it had to come down to like my favorite memory of when I was young was hunting with my dad, spring turkey.
Or waterfowl.
Yeah, well, spring turkey came first before
Yeah,
waterfowl. But, I mean, he took me out and caught something out of the corner of my eye. I had no clue what it was because it, like, walked right in front of the sun. We had the sun crescent right in front of us. No clue what it was. And pretty soon, once I got a good glimpse of what it was a bear.
Oh.
Bear, 25 yards, coming in.
Oh,
And
that's right. Your dad told me this.
yeah, he was walking in, and my dad didn't see it. I saw it first. And
Talk about shaking.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I didn't know anything. I mean, I was 8 years old, you know. I told Dad, I was like, Dad, it's a bear. My dad looks over, and I had the biggest eyes, he said. And he looks up, and he's like, holy. my dad was scared. I mean, my dad only had a shotgun in his hand, and I mean, that bear's walking in. He's probably 15 yards to us now, walking right at us.
No idea.
No idea. Didn't know we were there, and the whole time I was like, "Shoot it, Dad! Shoot it, Dad!" I mean, my dad still, to this day, he'll. That's like his favorite memory, like when we were hunting. Like that's the same as mine. I mean, he had that black bear come in 15 yards to us and walk right past us, not even know we were there. And then 20 minutes later, we had a turkey right behind that come in, and my dad choked once again. Swung and missed.
Ronnie Lowe, if you're listening to this, we love you.
Yeah, we love you, but man, you suck at shooting. You better stick to that rifle.
Cole, did we get yours yet?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
If there's something that sticks out when you were young that made you think like, all right,
Open sage country.
No, I guess it was just when I was younger, before I could even hunt, just going hunting with my dad and all his buddies, and just
yeah.
you know, trying to keep up with them.
Oh, the good old days,
Yeah.
man. Getting yelled at for being too loud or
Yeah.
not seeing where you're walking. And,
Stepping on sticks. Watch where you're walking.
you know what that sounds a lot like? Hunting with Trevor.
If you guys were YouTube hunters like me, you don't got to worry about any
Yeah,
of that.
YouTube that. How to be quiet. Right there.
Yeah.
Parker can make a YouTube tutorial on just how to become a hunter. Easy. Easy peasy. All right.
That's how you learn.
I won't go there.
Not trying to bash on any YouTube people trying to learn how to hunt or anything, but I mean,
tell me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you gotta
guess-
start. You gotta start somewhere.
you gotta
That
start
is a good
somewhere.
point.
I mean,
and that's how Parker's are. And then
I mean,
Yeah.
Trevor's still learning. I mean, don't get me wrong. I go on YouTube all the time, like learning to call, learning to sight and
dude, we
blows.
can
I mean,
all learn.
listen to
more.
podcasts.
It's not
I mean, shout out to Born and Raised. I mean, I go on their podcast and I listen to
They
what
have a damn good
they have
podcast.
what they have to say. They're
Born and Raised and,
Everything.
and P and Wild have a very good podcast. P and Wild's a group up in Washington. You guys probably heard of them. They're some killers too.
Elk 101's pretty good.
Yeah, Elk 101.
Hold on, backtrack. If we are Jrake, then they are PNW Isled. Okay, that's I thought that's how you
Hey,
said it.
all love P and Wild. All love right now.
The Pacific Northwest Isled.
Yeah, Jrake Outdoors. So a couple things I wanted to touch on. This being our first podcast, it's just us being us. We when we started Jrake, I definitely wanted to keep it family friendly, and all these guys can attest to that. So we wanted to keep it around. I mean, definitely not PG, but PG-13. Now we're all grown adults and kids of our own and all that. I mean, just Brandon and I, maybe Trevor.
Daddy crew.
Definitely not Trevor. Definitely. Okay,
Better
that's
not. No.
That's 100% fact. Not Trevor.
Anyways.
Don't you dare say that.
Anyways, but the whole introduction to the crew, I knew this podcast was just gonna be us being us. This is who we are, and it's not that I say that we put on a fake persona behind the camera. It's just you guys don't see that half the time. I mean,
that's the thing is we get
That's
praised.
what-
we
that's-
get praised on.
exactly. Trevor's right.
You can watch this in front of your kids or any of our videos, not podcasts.
Probably not podcasts.
Podcasts we get a little
Rowdy.
rowdy. Exactly. that's
Podcast
the whole-
after dark.
Exactly. But any of our videos, we do our best to try to censor ourselves, make it to where you can watch this in front of your kids, and that's the thing is we push for is to get
Yeah.
the kids involved.
Our first time at Hoodoo Park, remember that? That guy came up
Yep.
and wanted a
At the Sportsman Show too. No, we've had
Oh, yeah.
several comments about guys
About-
like, I love you guys because I can throw it on and my kids can watch
and my
with
kids
me.
can watch it. And I
That's
was like,
our coworker literally says, "I watch this in front of my children."
who said that?
Justin,
Dude, Justin's a homie.
I know.
Yeah,
He was trying to talk
Justin.
crap about his daughter saying that I sleep all the time, which
Yeah.
is true, but that's besides the point. But that's the thing that we take pride on is we can censor ourselves when we want to.
Yes.
And the thing about this podcast,
And
is
it's
just
not
us
an
being
act.
us.
That's a lot
It's
about
not.
like hunting now is getting the kids I mean, like,
Involved.
No, that's
they're
literally
so
it.
into social media and everything
This-
nowadays. It's
Travis,
just-
our buddy Travis, the owner of Deeks Waterfowl, he has a saying, the next generation, and that's something that I hold true to. My buddy Brian Tatro, his son Colby, he was like, dude, how old? 11 maybe?
Dude, he was young.
6th grade maybe?
He is like a little pipsqueak.
Yeah, he was a little pipsqueak and never turkey hunted. And so Parker and I took him out, and he killed a bird, and it was, dude, to this day one of my favorite turkey hunts I've been on. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better morning to turkey hunt. We were surrounded by birds, got it all on film. He killed it, and after that, and we still take him to this day.
We gotta take him this year, dude.
Yeah,
Because he's kind of grown
I
up
mean,
now.
dude-
He hit puberty. He's got
Yeah,
deep
he's got a
voice.
deep
I
voice
ran into
now.
him.
Dude,
He's like
I mean,
driving.
turning into a man.
We take him turkey hunting. We take him waterfowl
Shed hunting.
You're telling me he's
shed
driving?
hunting.
Huh?
Yeah, he's
You mean
driving.
He's driving us
Yeah.
turkey camp.
Anyways, Parker, finish your story.
The cool thing about taking Colby out and that was, it was just as exciting for all of
Us,
us,
yeah.
for us, as if we were killing birds. It was just as exciting. Like I
Dude,
don't know.
wish
I was
there
shaking.
for that.
I was shaking for him, dude. I'm sitting back there, and I got a camera.
Here's
With,
Parker's film.
yeah, we couldn't use my footage because I'm so stoked.
Do that again?
It also didn't help that I'm wearing like a Chama hoodie, a First Light Chama hoodie, and that's all I had, and it was like 30 degrees.
And you boys know how cold spring mornings can be, dude.
It can
Oh,
be
no-
very
dude,
cold, right on the
that's-
backside of hood.
Dude.
Okay, when I had that turkey come in, I didn't know if I was shaking because I was nervous or just because I was freezing.
Half the
to
time
death.
it's because I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I'm cold as balls. But back on the whole youth part, that's something we take pride in.
No,
and
it's-
to jump back on, sorry, to what Trevor was saying is, when we were talking about who we are, you know, we've grown up into adults now, and we still censor ourselves to keep our videos like that. That's all thanks to me, because, you know, filming Brandon and Parker and Trevor, you know, on a 3-day hunt, that's a lot of cursing I gotta bleep out or delete. But this is just this is who we are. This is not a fake. This is not an act. This is raw. This is real. This is and we do it because we love it. I mean, we're not doing it for the fame. We're not doing it for the money. We don't even, you know, we don't make money off of this, at least yet. You know, and it's been a journey. Definitely has been a journey through. I remember the first sponsor we picked up, thinking it was just amazing, you know. And then the cool thing about this entire thing is working with the companies that we get to work with.
Yeah, and
That's
it's just
one of my favorite parts.
It's not all about sponsorships and like starting your own company. I mean, run your own business. It's not about picking up sponsorships. I know a lot of people hate on people being pro staff or being like sponsored with, not the hash on any camo company, but I mean, Sitka. I mean, people get pro staff with Sitka. I mean, they put out great products, you know.
We could probably save this for another time. We could make an entire podcast on like the industry itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, hands down. I mean, every company makes great product. I mean,
every company does.
We picked up a camo company with Numa.
Yeah.
Numa. I mean, we're not trying to get it for free. We're not trying to get it for 50% off. I mean, no. I mean,
the guys at Numa are good dudes.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're amazing dudes.
They take pride in their product, and that's the thing that I love about Numa is they stand behind their product.
Yes.
And they work with us so much. And
God, what's the word I'm looking? Their customer service is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with them at all. But like again, that's a whole podcast itself. I do want to do a podcast strictly on gear and the gear we run, because I get a ton of questions. You know, for Numa example, I get tons of questions on how is it, flaws.
I've been messaged by random people I've never even met or talked to in my life. They ask me like, I see you're running Selkirk. Like, tell me about it. Like, I want to buy this. Like, but I want to know more about it. And it's like, I've never talked to you, but
listen to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No.
Well, while we're on this subject, let's talk about like social media and like, does it affect hunting and the outdoors now, or is it a good thing?
For sure.
That's way too much to cover.
Oh, we still got time.
I mean, we got time.
Social media is its own community. Like, it's huge.
It is.
It's huge.
But
that's
again,
the only reason we're here.
It comes down to
that is 100% true.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
my audience, and like I sent you that picture today. We had 2,000 views in 1 month, and there's a lot of you out there probably laughing at that number, but to me that's big. And 2,000 of those views came. It's like branching, right? So I post something on Instagram and I leave a link. People click that link and it sends them to this video, right? I post on Facebook and it sends them to this. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. I think it's helped me. It's helped all of us.
How about that Facebook video?
Oh man,
700,000 views.
Yeah,
dude, it's over that now. I'll dive into that real quick. Parker and I made this stupid video, and
It's so dumb.
it was so dumb, and we did it just out of spare of the moment. We were out shed hunting, I think, and anyways, I'll give Phelps Game Calls a quick shout out. We had our Phelps tubes, and we were just dicking around and doing something, and we made this video of it's like, I think I labeled it as
When your buddy.
when you let your buddy bugle.
Yeah, that's what
Which is true. We've all been there.
Okay, if I bugle right now for you guys, that is probably what it's gonna sound like.
It's gonna sound like that.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm
don't
gonna
call-
cover how that
I don't
our
call
stupid
Parker's
video
my
turned into a
call.
reality.
Yeah.
next
Trevor's
season.
gonna be the guy back there raking the tree for all of us.
Yeah.
Dude, hey,
Dude.
it works.
Yeah.
That's another podcast in itself. Tactics right there. But anyways, Parker and I were out just dicking around. We had our Phelps calls, and we made this video on what it's like to have your buddy bugle. So I had this film from like and like the year prior, I called this bull in during deer season, and I filmed it all. Anyways, this video is like, we see this elk, and Parker's like, go back and call. So I go back and call, and I grab my Phelps tube, and I just rip this nasty, sounds like I'm just blowing through a garbage can, dude. And you guys just have to check it out. Anyways, we posted it to our Instagram, tagged a couple people. Eric Chester from Hush then shared it, and I remember working, and I was like, dude, Eric Chester just
Dude, it was on Facebook.
Yeah, no.
He reposted
no,
it.
That was on
he posted
Instagram
on
first.
Instagram,
It
and
blew
it
up
got
on
up to like
Facebook after that.
it got up to like 50,000 views or something like that. I'm in my pants at this time, right?
Dude, I was in Montana at the time, and I remember you texting me and be like, dude, our video's blowing up. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever. So I go on there and I see, I was like, it's at like 70,000 views at this time. I'm like, holy crap, it's actually blowing
Yeah,
up. So
and
I was
I'm-
like, this is ridiculous.
So that was on Instagram alone. So I forget, I want to say maybe my mom or my dad was like, post that to Facebook so my friends can watch it, because older people don't have Instagram. And so I posted to Facebook, and it went up to like maybe like 1,000 views, and then plateaued out, just months of just like 1,000, 1,010, 1,020. And then someone shared it to a group, a big group, like Oregon Big Game Hunting or something like that. Straight up. And I think we're at like,
We were at work, dude. You remember that? And every time you got on your phone, every 15 minutes,
Oh
it would
my
go up
gosh.
another 10,000, 20,000,
yeah, I just kept
30.
refreshing it every like 10 seconds, and it was just going up by 10,000 views every time. And every time I'd refresh, it'd be like 10,000 views, 600 likes, and maybe like 200 comments, 20 shares. And it just got all the way up. Trevor, what are we sitting at?
We're at 697,000
All right, sorry about that. 600 and how many? 97,000 views. But you got to add the Instagram views on top of that.
Yeah, no.
And then we have
just
it
Facebook.
on YouTube too, but it doesn't have that much on YouTube. But still, alone right there.
Stupid
That's
clip.
Quick math.
It's just
Yeah.
One of the dumbest clips we have.
Yeah, Phelps. I remember Phelps messaged me, was laughing his ass off, and I was like, dude, hire me. Right? So,
shout out to Phelps.
shout out to Phelps. We got about 15 minutes, boys. What's something we want to cover?
Oh man.
This can be anything. Ooh, let's answer. All right. So this is the part of the podcast where we like to answer some fans' questions. So I'll start, Brandon. Pull them up real quick.
Yep, working on it.
All right, Cole.
What's up?
We'll just go around. I'm gonna ask you first, okay?
Okay.
Pacheco Nicholas. Pacheco_Nicholas asks.
Okay, yeah.
How old were you when you first went hunting?
7 or 8, maybe younger.
Maybe younger, Parker.
Maybe younger.
Big game?
When you first went hunting, I'd say. So yeah, like legally.
Big game. Legally, I wouldn't even call it hunting because it was with your family and maybe my family. But I wasn't even hunting. I was just walking around with a rifle. I would say the first time I actually went hunting was when I was hunting Mount Hood in high school, my sophomore, junior year.
Gotcha.
I was driving my Jeep Cherokee up there for myself.
The chair.
All right, wait. Time out. I wasn't personally hunting, but I was going hunting.
True.
So
Yeah, I guess I've been hunting since I was a baby.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been up every deer camp. I've been up since I was a baby. I think Brandon, you're almost the same way.
Yeah, just put that rifle stock up to your little
Up to my little baby
18-month-old arm.
Yep.
It's our son.
Trevor, when you first started hunting?
So when you ask that, do you mean when I first went hunting, or
When you first went hunting.
When I first was carrying a rifle, I had a tag in my pocket.
Sure.
I mean, to be honest, I was probably 12 or 13.
12 or 13. Man. All right, Brandon, this one's for you. Rivers Koskinen responds, when are you guys going to collab with Mile High Pursuit? So Mile High Pursuit, he has his company down in Colorado. Dude picks up sheds left and right. I'll give him props to that. And he killed a nice buck last year. But Colorado's definitely a dream hunt for me. I think Brandon and I were talking about this earlier. If I was gonna go down to Colorado, this might surprise you. I would love to do like a rutted November muley hunt.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean,
They have
Nothing.
butt tags?
Yeah.
there'd be nothing better than sticking a stud of a mule deer over there.
Oh,
in the
one
high
thing.
country.
Keep in mind, it's the laws change, and you're only allowed 80% let off with your bow, which most of them are 85 right now, like in Oregon, you know?
In Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado is one of the only states that has that law left where you have to lower your bow's let off to at least 80% or lower.
You're gonna look like a fool if that's wrong.
Hey, we're gonna bow shop. I know these things.
That's true. All right, here we go. Next question. This person says, "Nice."
Thanks, person.
Not even a question. Brendan, did you get any questions on your end?
Yeah, from Travis from Deeks Waterfowl, he commented on how are we going to continue this sport and make it grow?
I think it's so funny that isn't it weird that we call it a sport now?
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that.
It is a sport, though.
Is
I mean,
it?
Passion.
okay,
I mean,
okay, I
how
mean,
are we going to continue
you
this
take-
passion that we have going
No,
on?
but it's a sport.
I mean, yeah, it is
You
a sport,
you
hands
bring
down.
anyone who's not hunting, not doing any other sport, and you say, "Hey, come out shed hunting with us," and we're doing 10 miles a day in the backcountry, they would be dying.
Trevor, you've never seen 10
It's
miles
just a
in the
workout.
backcountry.
So he has a point he's got a point to an extent. To an extent.
Hey, but who has the record for most?
These boys right here.
23
right.
miles.
Is that true?
We didn't start walking till 1 p.m. and we weren't done walking till 2 a.m.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. People are gonna want to know the story real quick.
Okay. Cool.
We'll end this.
Yeah, you
We'll end
wanna
this
start it? You go
podcast
for
with
You want me
this
to start
with
it?
this story right here.
You go for it.
All right. So, 2 archery seasons ago, the season of 2018 season, we take our first real backcountry trip, and we pack in on horseback a camp in about 9 miles into secret wilderness. And
I did that walk twice.
By yourself.
One by
so
myself,
we pack.
then back out with it.
Yeah, no. So we pack camping on horseback with Cole's dad. Thank God he had horses and pack mules. We set up a decent sized camp. We got a nice wall tent.
Okay,
Get
before
on-
we continue, Parker's never ridden a horse before this.
Oh.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, a pony
What
at
do you
the
think
state
I am?
fair.
This is the 3rd time I rode
A
a horse.
pony at the state fair does not.
Okay,
count.
Trevor's had a horse for like 3 years and he hasn't even rode him once. So I don't want free to hear it.
I'm sorry, I don't want to kill his knees.
Oh yeah.
He's not broken.
Anyways.
Any hoodle. We get camp set up. We hunt. Dakota walks in, and we kind of misjudged how long this was. And Dakota, he texted us when he started his walk in, and then you don't have any service in here, obviously.
I think
So-
3 p.m.
I think it's been about 4 or 5 hours, and Cole and I are like, "Oh my God, where is Dakota?"
Dead.
We're kind of worried about him because there's a couple branches off of this trail. So we start walking down the trail, and we're getting freaked out. And we were walking down this trail for an hour.
Yeah, at least
Maybe.
2
It was
miles.
around
At least 2
dawn.
miles. And we finally see him just hunched over with this giant pack, and he's just walking like
Exo
half
gear.
a mile an hour. We're like, "Oh my God, he's alive!" So we
Dude.
run up to him, we help him pack in.
Lungs.
Anyways,
That's when you
When-
need Billy Goat Brandon there.
Yeah.
Cole's dad takes all the animals back out, and so we're there hunting for a few days, and we got into some bulls, and some unfortunate things happened, but there's a video about that.
sorry.
Any hoodle.
I'm sorry. I'll just say that now.
We pack out on foot, and then a couple weeks later, Cole and I decided to go back in. So we left from here. It's about a 5-hour drive.
Sorry to interrupt. Was
Yeah.
all that stuff still out there?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah, we left
No,
camp there.
we didn't leave it. We didn't leave it for 2 weeks. It was just like 5 days, I think.
Oh, okay.
You're right. No, it wasn't even 10 days because I think that's the law.
Yeah.
Any hoodle.
Smart.
It's 14.
We go back in, and we drove over one morning. We didn't leave early or anything. We get to his ranch. We're kind of getting everything situated, figure out everything we want to pack in, but we still have a tent there with cots and sleeping bag and some food. And so we hit the trailhead at like 1 p.m. We're like, okay, we'll get there in about 4 hours. We'll have a nice evening hunt. And we roll up to our camp, or we walk up to our camp after walking
Roll
the 9 miles in, and there's these guys with a huge camp. They have like their 10 horses, and there's people there, and their tent's pitched 100 yards away from our tent. 9 miles in the backcountry.
In that little tiny meadow.
And Cole and I are just bricks. We're like, no way. No way. So we go up and we talk to him. Oh, sorry, we thought you guys just walked out like today.
Were they from like Texas or something?
They're from all over the country. They're from Texas and
California?
yeah, one guy's from California, and I don't know. Apparently they do some annual trip, and this is their meadow. It's public land.
Yeah.
It's not their meadow. Okay, we were there too. But we're sitting down for 20 minutes trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do, and we hear them up in the hills, right where we were going to hunt, just bugling their freaking heads off, cow calling, and they're spread out, and they're just making all this noise. And you can hear them talking and laughing and all this stuff. And we're like, there's no elk in here. There's no way. So we're like, all right, we're going to walk up, and we're going to hunt. We're going to get an evening hunt. We might go camp up there, and then maybe just sleep here.
What
and walk
time is
every
it
day.
at this
It's getting
point?
dark.
Oh.
We're hunting like the last hour that's going to be light
It's like
outside.
almost 8 o'clock probably.
So we go up pretty far.
Couple miles.
Nothing. Not hearing nothing. We don't want to go walking through all this stuff that we've never even seen. We go back to the tent. We're going to sleep and hunt somewhere else the next morning. We're like, nah, we need to get out of here. We need to hunt somewhere else. I don't know what the hell we were thinking.
How
But
far?
We're like, it's
how
dark.
far up did you go?
Couple miles.
Yeah, a couple miles up.
So you're like 11, 12
Yeah.
now?
11. Yeah, probably good 11.
So we make the decision to go back to the truck and completely hunt a completely different area. We're
Drainage.
going to hike out of here. And
That
we're
night.
I'll let Cole finish the exciting story on the way out. So we're already like 12 miles in,
Yeah.
and then here we go.
All right, yeah. So we decided to leave, and we had all this beer that the mules packed in, right? And we emptied our hydration packs, of our water.
Smart.
You know, but
Well, yeah, the essentials.
yeah, you know, we left some stuff there, so we had to pack it all out because we were.
You weren't nervous about those dudes?
No, not really.
Yeah.
We were gonna be back in a couple more days to, you know, pick up camp and
Exactly.
take it out. So, but no, we filled up our hydration packs with beer and started on down the trail. And
Oh,
I don't know, we got like
it's pitch dark.
no,
at
yeah,
this time,
it's
huh?
dark. It's dark now. We have our headlamps on. Yeah, we're about an hour into our hike out, and my headlamp dies, I think, first or something. Get another 20 minutes down the trail. Parker's headlamp's dead. It's like, I think it was overcast that night too, so it was dark. You know, you can't see nothing.
At
and
that
you're
point, Dakota's hitting the InReach SOS button.
yeah. But anyways, we didn't get back to the truck that night until like, oh shit, like 2 o'clock or something.
Earl?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, no, we took a couple breaks, and every time you take a break, you're like, okay, this is not safe, because if we stop walking now, we're just gonna pitch our tents here and we're gonna die.
We're not gonna die.
Okay, let me tell you though, if it was not for the beer in my hydration pack, I got a 3-liter hydration pack, so I'm drunk. If I had not been drunk, I would have been so scared and in my pants. I'm a grown ass man, and I'm still scared of the dark out there in the woods,
Dude.
I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Dude,
I
there's
start
been
seeing
times.
Yeah.
You hear something?
It's scary.
It is
It's
scary.
Yeah.
being out that far too. You're like, okay, if I twist my ankle, I'm dead.
You know how many times I've woke up at like 2 a.m. God, I'll take a piss and I hear a crack in the woods. I'm like, oh crap, I'm dead.
Yeah,
That's why
Like,
I
I'm
don't step
gonna
out
die.
of the
That's a
tent.
cougar. That's a bear. I'm about to get eat.
Trevor
The
wake 2
alive.
p.m. and an evening
Yeah.
hunt.
Yeah.
Just crack. He's like, oh, I'm dead.
Dude, I know. No, I've always enjoyed that story just because I did that walk. I did that walk by myself going in. I think we stayed like 3 days, and then we going out. Going out wasn't bad. When you got company,
It's all downhill too.
yeah, when you got company, you're fine.
Okay, but going in, I remember you complaining to me that you were like messaging them, and Cole was like, "Just walk it," and you're like, "You got horses
I know.
and mules. Come
Yeah.
pick me up. It'll take you 30 minutes."
Dude,
Cole's like,
like-
"Nah, just walk it.
Just
dude."
walk it, it's
and you're
fine.
like, "Dude, this is like 9 miles."
Dude, it was
4-hour horse ride.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like,
okay, yeah.
why
no,
can't you?
Yeah.
Because the only reason I'm saying that is because they rode in. Your dad stayed for a.
He took the animals out the next day.
So I
next morning.
came the next day, and I was like, "Can he just pick me up and take me in there?" And Cole was like, "No, just walk it." I was like, "Death." All right, here we go. So yeah, I walked it, and like Parker said, dude, when they found me, dude, I was hurting. That was my first That was my first ever like backcountry hunt.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows me, I pack way too freaking much.
Yeah. No.
My
I know.
dumbass packed a tent, knowing they had a canvas tent up
Yeah.
already. So I packed in so much. I packed in so much crap,
Dude, you pack in like a month's worth of food
Dude,
just to know that you're there for 3 days.
Yeah. and I'll still do it. Like this year, dude,
Well,
I'll do it. I'll
I
pack
get
it all
it.
in.
We're going to.
We're going to. So, guys, anyways, we're gonna wrap up this podcast. But what we're gonna do is all of this will be released on YouTube. We'll have a video portion on YouTube, and then we're gonna post an audio version on Spotify and iTunes. So, if you guys don't have an iPhone, obviously you guys can't have iTunes. So that's why we're gonna go to the Spotify.
Androids can't get Apple Music.
What did I say?
You said if you don't have an iPhone, you can't get iTunes.
That's the same thing.
Yeah,
If you don't have an iPhone.
you can't get iTunes. This podcast will go up on February 14th, and then 1 week after that, our episode with Travis Mallon. We did one with him and his son Tripper, talking everything waterfowl, and then I think a week after that we'll be releasing another one, and I'm not sure what that one will be on, but now that we got this podcast up, this gives us something to just start spilling. Like today, we spilled a lot of memories, but it's a good platform that we can talk about gear and we can answer questions and we can be ourselves. I enjoy doing it. I can't.
Yeah.
No, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's honestly like before coming on the podcast, I was thinking like, what the heck are
Yeah.
we talk about?
And it's like that.
It's just it's one of those things where we can just
You can
talk
ramble.
about the experience, and we can just ramble about whatever we want.
And if you guys have made it this far, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I know we're not.
If
we're-
anyone's still
yeah, if
listening,
anyone's still listening,
I know we don't kill much,
Yeah, right.
but I swear this year's gonna change.
This year will change.
We're
We have a joke going around in the crew. We call it the Jrake curse, and it's just, I don't know. Archery hunting's hard, and anyone that archery hunt knows this. I mean, Cole's had ups and downs. Parker had a rough year, and we've all had rough years. I mean, but again, like something we were talking about earlier, Parker mentioned it. Once you have that elk screaming in front of you and you guys are playing that game, it will get you hooked. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, hunting isn't just all about, killing everything, you know? I mean, you see all these guys, like, all over YouTube killing monster bulls.
Oh, yeah.
They have them screaming. I mean, they're hunting Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico. I mean, they got bulls all over. I mean, here in Oregon, we got good spots like that, too.
We have some of the best elk hunting in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, we have great spots, but, I mean, we have our ups and downs throughout the season. We have...
Just like everyone does.
Yeah, and we're on a slump right now, but we're getting ready to pull out of it this year. This year's going to be a good year.
It'll happen. All right, guys. All new Drake Live. Episode 2 with Travis Mallon. That'll go up on February 23rd, I think. We'll have to check.
It's your birthday, isn't it?
That's my birthday, yes. All right, boys. Let's wrap this up.
cool.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, boys. Let's
Yep.
call it a night.